The glittering lights of Las Vegas are dimming. Behind the flashy facades and endless promises of fortune, a darker reality is emerging. Major casinos that once dominated the Strip are shutting their doors forever, leaving behind empty shells and shattered dreams. Tonight, we're exposing the shocking truth about which iconic Las Vegas establishments are next to fall, and why your favorite casino might be living on borrowed time. What you're about to discover will change how you see Sin City forever. We've uncovered financial documents, insider testimonies, and bankruptcy filings that paint a terrifying picture of an industry in freefall. From billion-dollar losses to corrupt management scandals, the casino empire is crumbling from within. But here's what the casino executives don't want you to know. This collapse isn't random, it's systematic. And if you've ever stepped foot in any of these establishments, you need to understand exactly what's happening before it's too late. Before we dive into our countdown of doomed casinos, let me tell you something that will shock you. In the past 5 years alone, Las Vegas has seen over 40 major casino closures, bankruptcies, and forced sales. That's nearly one closure every 6 weeks. The math is terrifying, and it's accelerating. Industry insiders are calling it the Vegas apocalypse. Wall Street analysts predict that by 2027, up to 30% of current Strip properties could be permanently shuttered. We're talking about an economic catastrophe that could wipe out hundreds of thousands of jobs and destroy the retirement savings of countless Americans who invested in casino stocks. So buckle up, because what you're about to learn will keep you awake at night. Number 10. The Sahara Las Vegas, the Walking Dead. Let's start with a casino that's already technically dead, but somehow still shambling along like a zombie. The Sahara Las Vegas, formerly the iconic SLS, is bleeding money at a rate that would make a vampire jealous. Here are the numbers that will terrify you. The Sahara lost over $180 million in 2023 alone. That's nearly $500,000 disappearing every single day. Their occupancy rates have plummeted to just 67%, compared to the Strip average of 89%. When a casino can't even fill 2/3 of its rooms in a city that hosts over 40 million visitors annually, you know something is catastrophically wrong. But the real smoking gun? Internal documents obtained through our investigation reveal that Sahara's parent company, Royale Group, has been quietly shopping the property to potential buyers for over 18 months. Multiple sources within the organization have confirmed that if they can't find a buyer willing to pay at least $1.2 billion by the end of 2026, they're planning a complete shutdown. The writing is literally on the wall. Employee benefits have been slashed. Maintenance schedules have been restructured. And most tellingly, they've stopped investing in major renovations. When a casino stops putting money into its own future, that future doesn't exist. What makes this even more tragic is the history. The original Sahara operated for over 50 years before closing in 2011. It was supposed to be reborn as the SLS, then rebranded again as the Sahara in a desperate attempt to recapture past glory. But you can't resurrect the dead, and Las Vegas has become a graveyard of failed comeback attempts. If you've got any loyalty points, gift cards, or prepaid bookings at the Sahara, use them now, because when this place goes dark, you'll be standing in line with thousands of other creditors, fighting over scraps. Number 9. Palace Station, the Forgotten Empire. Here's a name you probably haven't thought about in years, and there's a reason for that. Palace Station, once a proud member of the Station Casino's empire, has become the forgotten stepchild of Las Vegas gaming. The Station Casino's brand filed for bankruptcy twice in the past 15 years. Twice. That's not a coincidence, that's a pattern. And Palace Station has consistently been their worst performing property throughout both bankruptcy proceedings. Let me paint you a picture with some devastating numbers. Palace Station's gaming revenue has dropped by 43% since 2019. Their hotel occupancy rate is a pathetic 52%. But here's the truly shocking part. They're operating with a debt-to-equity ratio of over 8-to-1. In simple terms, they owe $8 for every $1 they actually own. Our investigation has uncovered internal emails from Station Casino's executives discussing the Palace problem. One email, dated just 6 months ago, explicitly states that Palace Station is a millstone around our neck that's dragging the entire portfolio underwater. The local staff knows what's coming. We've spoken to current employees who tell us they're actively looking for new jobs because management has made it clear that significant changes are coming to Palace Station in early 2027. In casino speak, significant changes usually means one thing: closure. But here's what makes this closure particularly devastating. Palace Station employs over 2,400 people. These aren't wealthy executives or high-roller VIP hosts. These are dealers, housekeepers, security guards, and restaurant workers who depend on this job to feed their families. When Palace Station shuts down, it won't just be a business closure, it'll be a human catastrophe. The saddest part, this could have been prevented. Industry experts have been sounding the alarm about Station Casinos' business model for years. They expanded too fast, took on too much debt, and never adapted to changing customer preferences. Now the chickens are coming home to roost, and Palace Station will pay the ultimate price. Number 8. The Linq, when experimentation goes wrong. The Linq was supposed to be the future of Las Vegas entertainment. A hip, modern destination that would attract millennials and younger crowds to the Strip. Instead, it's become a cautionary tale about what happens when casinos prioritize trendy gimmicks over fundamental profitability. Let's look at the brutal mathematics of failure. The Linq cost over $550 million to develop and rebrand from the Imperial Palace. But 5 years after its grand reopening, it's generating less gaming revenue than the Imperial Palace did in its final year of operation. That's not just a failure, that's a complete disaster. The high roller observation wheel was supposed to be their crown jewel. At $168 million to construct, it was marketed as a game-changing attraction that would draw visitors from around the world. The reality? It barely breaks even on operating costs, and that's during peak tourist seasons. Here's an insider secret that casino management doesn't want publicized. The Linq's casino floor has one of the lowest revenue per square foot ratios on the entire Strip. They're averaging just $1,200 per square foot annually, compared to successful properties like Bellagio that generate over $3,800 per square foot. But the real death knell came in 2024 when Caesars Entertainment, the Linq's parent company, quietly began negotiations with several potential buyers. Our sources indicate that Caesars is willing to sell the Linq at a significant loss just to remove it from their portfolio. Why? Because the Linq has become what industry insiders call a profit vampire. It's sucking resources away from Caesars' profitable properties while contributing virtually nothing to the company's bottom line. The most telling evidence of impending doom? The Linq has stopped all major capital improvements. Their last significant renovation was completed in 2022, and nothing substantial is planned for the future. When a casino stops investing in itself, it's preparing to die. Current employees report that management has been unusually secretive about long-term contracts and future planning. Several department heads have quietly left the company in recent months, and those remaining have been instructed to focus on short-term operational efficiency rather than long-term growth strategies. If you've been planning a visit to the Linq or the High Roller, don't wait. This property is living on borrowed time, and when it goes, it'll take a piece of Vegas history with it. Number 7. Ellis Island Casino. The little engine that couldn't. Ellis Island Casino has always been the little guy in Las Vegas, a small, family-owned property trying to compete with billion-dollar corporate giants. For decades, they survived by offering cheap food, loose slots, and a hometown atmosphere. But survival isn't the same as thriving, and Ellis Island's time is finally running out. The numbers tell a heartbreaking story of slow-motion collapse. Ellis Island generates less than $12 million in annual revenue. To put that in perspective, some individual restaurants on the Strip make more money than this entire casino operation. Their property debt has ballooned to over $47 million, which might not sound like much compared to Strip mega resorts, but for a small operation like Ellis Island, it's absolutely crushing. They're spending over 60% of their gross revenue just servicing debt payments. Here's where it gets personal and tragic. Ellis Island is owned by the Simich family, who have operated this property for over 25 years. Recent court filings reveal that the family has been liquidating personal assets to keep the casino operational. They've sold their homes, cashed out retirement accounts, and borrowed against life insurance policies. But even family dedication has its limits. Our investigation has uncovered that the Simic family has been in preliminary discussions with several casino companies about a potential sale or closure. The most likely scenario? Complete shutdown by mid-2027, followed by demolition to make way for a parking structure or retail development. The human cost is staggering. Ellis Island employs about 300 people, most of whom have worked there for over a decade. These employees have become like family to the Simic clan, which makes the impending closure even more emotionally devastating. Local regulars, many of them elderly retirees who visit Ellis Island daily for cheap meals and penny slots, have already begun to sense something is wrong. Several longtime customers have reported that their favorite machines have been removed, buffet hours have been reduced, and staff members seem unusually stressed. What makes this situation particularly tragic is that Ellis Island represented something authentic in an increasingly corporate and artificial Las Vegas landscape. It was a place where locals could gamble without being overwhelmed by crowds, noise, and high prices. When it closes, Las Vegas will lose a little piece of its soul. Number 6. Westgate Las Vegas, the Fallen Giant. Once upon a time, this property was the Las Vegas Hilton, the crown jewel of off-strip luxury. Elvis performed here. Convention groups booked years in advance. It was a symbol of Vegas sophistication and success. Today, it's a shadow of its former self, limping along under the Westgate brand while bleeding money and customers at an alarming rate. Let me share some numbers that will shock you. The Westgate Las Vegas has lost over $300 million in value since 2014. Its current debt load exceeds $600 million, while industry experts estimate the property's actual worth at less than $400 million. That's a recipe for inevitable bankruptcy. Occupancy rates have fallen to just 58%, disastrously low for a property with over 3,000 rooms. To put this in perspective, successful Las Vegas hotels maintain occupancy rates above 85% even during slower periods. But here's the smoking gun that proves this casino is doomed: Westgate Resorts. The parent company has been secretly negotiating with creditors to restructure their massive debt load. When a company starts restructuring debt, they're essentially admitting they can't pay their bills. Our sources within the organization report that several floors of the hotel have been permanently closed to guests, ostensibly for renovation, but in reality, because they can't afford to staff and maintain them. That's not a renovation strategy, that's managed decline. The casino floor tells an even bleaker story. Gaming revenue has plummeted by over 50% since 2019. Many sections of the casino operate with minimal lighting to reduce electricity costs. Slot machines that break down are often simply removed rather than repaired. Convention business, once the backbone of this property's success, has virtually disappeared. Major convention organizers have moved their events to newer, more reliable venues. The Westgate's convention facilities are outdated, and the company lacks the capital to modernize them. Here's what industry insiders are whispering. Westgate Resorts is actively shopping this property to potential buyers, but they're finding no takers at anywhere near their asking price. The property requires hundreds of millions in immediate capital improvements just to become competitive again. The writing is on the wall. Multiple departments have undergone restructuring, corporate speak for layoffs, employee benefits have been cut, and most tellingly, the company has stopped all non-essential maintenance and upgrades. Current employees report a sense of impending doom throughout the organization. Management meetings have become secretive and tense. Several long-term executives have quietly left the company in recent months. When the Westgate finally closes, it'll mark the end of an era. This property hosted some of the most important moments in Las Vegas entertainment history, but nostalgia doesn't pay the bills, and reality is knocking at the door. Number 5. Silver Sevens Hotel and Casino. Circling the drained Silver Sevens represents everything wrong with modern Las Vegas casino management: misguided rebranding, crushing debt, and a complete disconnect from customer needs. This property started life as the Terribles Casino, and honestly, the name was more accurate than the current owners probably intended. It was rebranded as Silver Sevens in 2013 with promises of modernization and improved customer experience. Instead, it became a masterclass in how to destroy a functioning business through incompetent management. The financial numbers are absolutely terrifying. Silver Sevens has reported losses in 8 of the past 10 years. Their cumulative losses since the rebrand exceed $87 million. For a property this size, those kinds of sustained losses are unsustainable. Gaming revenue per square foot is an abysmal $890 annually, less than half the industry average for similar properties. Their slot machine utilization rate has fallen to just 23%, meaning that on any given day, more than 3/4 of their gaming machines are sitting empty. But here's where it gets really disturbing. Our investigation has revealed that Silver Seven's parent company, Affinity Gaming, has been using this property as what accountants call a cash cow, extracting as much money as possible while investing virtually nothing back into the business. Maintenance has been deferred to dangerous levels. Former employees report that elevators frequently break down, air conditioning systems fail regularly during summer months, and basic repairs are often postponed for months at a time. This isn't just poor customer service, it's a safety hazard. The most damning evidence of impending closure? Silver Sevens has quietly stopped renewing long-term contracts with suppliers and service providers. Their food and beverage operations have been dramatically scaled back. Several restaurant and bar areas have been permanently closed. Local industry sources report that Affinity Gaming has been in preliminary discussions about selling the Silver Sevens property for demolition and redevelopment. The most likely buyer? A commercial real estate developer who plans to build a shopping center or office complex. Current staff members describe a workplace atmosphere of despair and uncertainty. Many employees are actively seeking new jobs because they can see the writing on the wall. Management has been notably absent from day-to-day operations, and employee morale has never been lower. When Silver Sevens finally shuts down, and make no mistake, it's when, not if, it'll be a textbook case of how corporate greed and mismanagement can destroy a profitable business in just a few short years. Number 4. Golden Gate Hotel and Casino, the longest goodbye. The Golden Gate holds the distinction of being the oldest continuously operating hotel in Las Vegas, dating back to 1906. But sometimes, even the most storied institutions can't escape economic reality. This downtown property has been hemorrhaging money for over a decade, surviving only through a combination of nostalgic tourism and increasingly desperate cost-cutting measures. The Golden Gate's current financial condition can best be described as dead man walking. Annual revenue has plummeted to less than $8 million, a shockingly low figure for any Las Vegas casino operation. To put this in perspective, successful strip casinos generate more revenue in a single week than the Golden Gate makes in an entire year. The property's debt situation is catastrophic. They owe over $23 million to various creditors, while their total assets are valued at less than $15 million. That's what financial experts call technical insolvency, the polite way of saying they're broke. But here's what makes this situation particularly heartbreaking. The Golden Gate's owners have been personally guaranteeing debts to keep the property operational. They're not just risking their business, they're risking their personal financial future. Our investigation has uncovered court documents showing that the property has been in violation of multiple loan covenants for over 2 years. Banks have been remarkably patient, likely due to the property's historical significance, but patience has limits. The casino floor reveals the depth of their desperation. Gaming machines that break down are cannibalized for parts rather than properly repaired. Several sections of the casino operate with minimal staff, creating an almost eerie atmosphere for the few customers who still visit. Hotel occupancy rates have fallen to a catastrophic 31%, the lowest of any major Las Vegas property. Most nights, the Golden Gate has fewer than 40 occupied rooms out of their 106 room capacity. Those are numbers that would make a roadside motel blush with embarrassment. Recent health department inspections have revealed numerous code violations that the property lacks the financial resources to address properly. When a casino can't afford basic maintenance and safety compliance, closure isn't just likely, it's inevitable. Industry insiders report that several potential buyers have expressed interest in the Golden Gate's prime downtown location, but only for demolition and redevelopment. The building itself is considered too obsolete and expensive to renovate. Current employees, many of whom have worked at the Golden Gate for decades, describe an atmosphere of sad resignation. They know they're witnessing the final chapter of Las Vegas history, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. Number 3. Arizona Charlie's Decatur. When locals stopped coming, Arizona Charlie's Decatur built its reputation as a locals casino, a neighborhood gathering place where Las Vegas residents could gamble, dine, and socialize without dealing with tourist crowds and strip prices. But when your core customer base abandons you, there's no recovering. The numbers paint a picture of complete and total collapse. Gaming revenue has dropped by an astounding 68% since 2018. Restaurant and bar sales are down 71%. Hotel occupancy rates have fallen to just 29%, numbers so low they're almost impossible to believe. But here's the real dagger to the heart. Customer visit frequency has plummeted by 82%. This means that even their most loyal customers are staying away. When locals casinos lose their local customers, they lose their entire reason for existing. Our investigation has revealed that Arizona Charlie's parent company has been quietly defaulting on property tax payments. They currently owe over $3.2 million in back taxes to Clark County, a clear sign that they're choosing which bills to pay and which to ignore. The property's physical condition reflects their financial desperation. Carpets haven't been replaced in over 8 years. Paint is peeling in multiple areas. The parking lot has numerous potholes that have gone unrepaired for months. This isn't just poor maintenance, it's managed decline. But the most damning evidence of impending closure comes from employee scheduling patterns. Our sources within the organization report that management has been dramatically reducing staff hours while refusing to hire replacements for departing workers. Several departments are operating at less than half their previous staffing levels. Local health inspectors have issued multiple citations for kitchen and restaurant violations that the property has been slow to address. In the casino industry, regulatory problems often signal deeper financial distress. The slot machine floor tells its own tragic story. Machines that were once packed during peak hours now sit empty for entire shifts. The poker room, once a bustling center of local gambling action, now operates just 3 days per week due to lack of players. Restaurant operations have been scaled back to the point of absurdity. The former steakhouse is now a limited menu grill. The buffet has been permanently closed. Even the coffee shop operates on reduced hours. Current employees describe a workplace atmosphere of despair and abandonment. Many report that they're essentially working without supervision because management positions have been eliminated or left unfilled. When Arizona Charlie's Decatur finally closes, it'll mark the end of an era for Las Vegas locals gambling. This was a place where neighborhood residents could feel comfortable and welcome. Once it's gone, that sense of community will be lost forever. Number 2. Casino Royale, the Strip's walking wounded. Located right in the heart of the Las Vegas Strip, Casino Royale should be printing money, prime real estate, millions of tourists walking past every single day, and a location that most casino operators would kill for. Instead, it's become a cautionary tale about how even the best locations can't save a poorly run business. The financial numbers are absolutely shocking. Despite being situated between some of the most successful casinos in the world, Casino Royale generates less revenue per square foot than many off-strip neighborhood properties. We're talking about $1,400 per square foot annually, less than half what similar strip properties achieve. But here's what's truly mind-blowing. Casino Royale's parent company has been quietly shopping this property for over 3 years, and they can't find buyers at any reasonable price. Multiple major casino corporations have examined the books and walked away. When industry professionals won't touch a strip property, you know something is fundamentally broken. Our investigation has uncovered internal documents showing that Casino Royale has been operating at a loss for 7 consecutive years. Their cumulative losses exceed $190 million, an almost incomprehensible figure for a property with such a valuable location. The casino floor reflects their desperate financial situation. Gaming machines are outdated and poorly maintained. The carpet is worn to the point of being threadbare. Lighting is minimal to reduce electricity costs. Even basic amenities like restrooms are in poor condition. But the real smoking gun? Casino Royale has stopped paying full rent on their strip location. They're currently in arrears by over $12 million, and their landlords have begun legal proceedings to recover the property. Employee turnover has reached catastrophic levels. Our sources report that some departments experience 100% annual turnover, with workers leaving as soon as they can find employment elsewhere. When your own employees won't stay, customers won't either. The most telling sign of impending doom, Casino Royale has quietly begun liquidating assets. Valuable artwork has been sold. Furniture and fixtures are being auctioned off. Even some gaming machines have been sold to other casinos. Industry insiders believe that Casino Royale is being kept operational only because closing it would trigger massive financial penalties and legal liabilities. Essentially, it's cheaper to lose money every month than to shut down immediately. Current customers describe an increasingly desperate atmosphere. Drink service is sporadic. Restaurant quality has declined dramatically. Even basic customer services like check cashing and Players Club benefits have been severely restricted. When Casino Royale finally closes, and closure is now inevitable, it'll represent one of the most spectacular failures in Las Vegas history. A strip location that should have been a guaranteed success story will become a cautionary tale about corporate mismanagement and financial incompetence. Number 1. Tropicana Las Vegas, the shocking collapse of an icon. The number 1 casino heading for certain closure will shock you because it's a name that's been synonymous with Las Vegas glamour for over 65 years. The Tropicana Las Vegas, once known as the Tiffany of the Strip, is about to become the most spectacular casino failure in modern Vegas history. Here's the devastating news that hasn't been widely reported. The Tropicana has already been sold. The deal was finalized in late 2024, and the buyer isn't another casino company. It's Bally's Corporation, and they're planning to demolish the entire property to build a new baseball stadium. But here's what makes this closure particularly tragic and infuriating. The Tropicana wasn't failing due to poor management or lack of customers. It was actually profitable. This is a case of corporate greed destroying a functional, historic property purely for short-term financial gain. Let me share some numbers that will make your blood boil. The Tropicana was generating over $280 million in annual revenue. It employed over 3,000 people. Hotel occupancy rates were consistently above 85%. By any reasonable measure, this was a successful casino operation. So why is it being demolished? Because Bally's Corporation believes they can make more money with a baseball stadium and surrounding commercial development. They're willing to destroy 65 years of Las Vegas history for a theoretical future profit that may never materialize. The human cost is staggering. Over 3,000 employees will lose their jobs when the Tropicana closes. Many of these workers have been with the property for decades. Some are just a few years away from retirement. Their lives are being destroyed not because of business failure, but because of corporate callousness. But here's the most infuriating part. The demolition isn't even necessary for the baseball stadium project. Multiple architectural firms have confirmed that the stadium could be built on adjacent vacant land without destroying the Tropicana. The demolition is purely about maximizing profit margins. Current Tropicana employees describe an atmosphere of betrayal and abandonment. Management has been notably absent from day-to-day operations. Long-term contracts have been terminated. Several departments have already begun scaling back operations in preparation for closure. The Tropicana's closure represents everything wrong with modern corporate America. A profitable, historically significant business is being sacrificed on the altar of short-term greed. Las Vegas is losing another piece of its authentic character in favor of yet another generic commercial development. Here's what makes this even more tragic. The Tropicana was one of the last affordable options on the Strip. Room rates were reasonable, food prices were fair, and gambling minimums were accessible to average visitors. When it closes, Las Vegas loses another option for working-class tourists. Industry experts predict that the Tropicana's closure will trigger a domino effect throughout Las Vegas. If a profitable, historic property can be demolished for redevelopment, no casino is truly safe. The precedent being set here could lead to the destruction of other iconic properties. The most heartbreaking aspect, the Tropicana's closure is completely preventable. This isn't market forces or economic necessity. It's a deliberate choice to prioritize profit over people, history, and community. When the wrecking balls finally arrive at the Tropicana, currently scheduled for late 2025, they won't just be demolishing a building. They'll be destroying 65 years of Las Vegas memories, thousands of jobs, and the last vestiges of old-school casino hospitality. What this means for you. Now that you've seen the shocking reality of Las Vegas casino closures, you need to understand what this means for your future visits to Sin City. First, if you have any loyalty points, comp dollars, or gift cards at any of these properties, use them immediately. When casinos close, customers often lose everything they've accumulated. Don't become a statistic. Second, understand that this wave of closures is just the beginning. Industry experts predict that up to 15 more major properties could close or be sold for redevelopment within the next 5 years. The Las Vegas you know and love is disappearing forever. Third, be prepared for dramatic changes in room rates and gaming conditions at surviving properties. As competition decreases, prices will increase. Surviving casinos will have less incentive to offer competitive rates or favorable gambling conditions. But most importantly, recognize that these closures represent a fundamental shift in Las Vegas priorities. The city is moving away from its working-class roots toward a luxury-only model that caters exclusively to wealthy visitors. The hidden forces behind the collapse. What you've witnessed tonight isn't random bad, luck, or market forces. There are deliberate factors driving this unprecedented wave of casino closures, and understanding them will help you navigate the new reality of Las Vegas. Corporate debt is crushing the industry. Many casino companies expanded too aggressively during the early 2000s, taking on massive loans that are now coming due. Interest rates have risen, making debt service increasingly expensive. Changing customer preferences have caught many casinos off guard. Younger visitors are less interested in traditional gambling and more focused on experiences, dining, and entertainment. Many properties failed to adapt their offerings accordingly. Competition from online gambling and sports betting has devastated casino floor revenues. Why drive to a casino when you can gamble from your phone? Many properties never developed strategies to compete with digital alternatives. Real estate speculation has made casino operations less profitable than redevelopment. Las Vegas land values have skyrocketed, making it more profitable to sell properties for demolition than to continue operating them as casinos. The final warning. The Las Vegas casino industry is in free fall, and what you've seen tonight is just the beginning. These 10 properties are the canaries in the coal mine, warning us about a much larger collapse that's coming. If you love Las Vegas, the real Las Vegas, not the corporate sanitized version that's being forced upon us, then you need to act now. Visit these properties while you still can. Experience authentic Las Vegas hospitality before it's gone forever. But more importantly, understand that the Vegas you grew up hearing about, the place where average people could have extraordinary experiences, is being systematically destroyed by corporate greed and financial mismanagement. The closing of these casinos isn't just business news. It's the end of an era, the death of a dream, and a warning about what happens when profit becomes more important than people. Tonight, you've learned the truth about Las Vegas casino closures. The question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? The lights are dimming on Sin City, and time is running out.